Just a couple of short days ago, I brought you guys a video that hopefully made you aware that it is actually time to reserve your S25, your Samsung Galaxy S25 device. By doing this, by filling this out, no money changes hands at this moment. You get $50 of credit if you actually do pre-order one of these devices on January the 22nd when they are officially unveiled. That $50 can go towards a new case, different things, accessories, things like that. And in that video, I tried my best to do my due diligence, kind of giving you guys the known rumors about these devices. You can see the write-up here on shanecraig.tech that went along with that video. We were fairly detailed with that, but today, Android Headlines actually has what they're calling an exclusive detailed Samsung Galaxy S25 series specification. So what I did is I made a quick table to make this information easier to digest. No slight to Android Headlines. They did a great job here, but sometimes just, a whole bunch of text like this is hard for me to quickly parse and take in. But a table does make things easier, so a table is what we made. And there are a few things that appear to have been sort of cleared up, things that we maybe thought were going to be one way, but actually they're going to be this way. So I'm not going to go through everything with like a fine-tooth comb. You can see the display sizes are staying relatively similar. Of course, it is the Snapdragon 8 Elite. We have 12 gigs of RAM across the board. Storage is pretty basic. For the cameras, we do have 50 megapixel sensors for the 25 and 25 Plus. Now, these could be new sensors from Sony, but I wouldn't expect them to be like a huge leap over what was there before. The same 200 megapixel sensor again for the Ultra. For the ultra wide though, a pair of 12s for the standard and the Plus model, but a 50 megapixel sensor for the ultra wide on the Ultra. That is a pretty nice improvement. Obviously, megapixels are not the end all be all. There's a lot more that goes into what makes a camera sensor good, but from that, like, what do they call it? 12,000 foot view, 50,000 foot view. I don't know what number they say. Where do airplanes fly at? From that view, that's what we have, 50 megapixel. It's a newer, higher resolution sensor, and that is good. For the telephoto, we have a 10 megapixel for the 3X and that 50 megapixel for the 5X. Hopefully, they've done some things, perhaps with the processing, to make that 5X zoom perform a little bit better, because with the S24 Ultra, there were definitely times when you were at those extreme zooms that maybe it didn't perform as well as the 10X on the prior Ultra models. Selfie camera, battery size, charging, all of that stuff is exactly what you would expect. Dimensions and weight also not too surprising. So just looking at this, the new processor, more RAM for the standard models, a new ultra wide, that's really about it in terms of the hardware. But Android Authority was here as well with some more stuff. Obviously, we've seen tons of renders of what these devices are going to look like, but now we have some really, really clean, nice looking renders that will show you the different colors as well. So there is your standard S25, flat side rail, flat screen, curved up here on the corners. Looks very, very similar to last year for the Plus. It's exactly the same, just a little bit larger. And then for the Ultra, kind of a very similar affair. I think that we are a bit more curved on these corners than we were last year, so that might dig into your hand a little bit less, but it really does look very similar to the other phones, just even larger than them. Of course, you do have the S Pen, and there is a silo to house that S Pen for the Ultra phone. We really are sort of in an era now where hardware improvements year over year are almost never going to be enough to warrant buying a new phone. If you have an S24 Ultra, buying the S25 Ultra makes very, very little sense. If you have an S23, maybe an S22, okay, that's really starting to be a pretty good jump. S21, yeah, okay, that's a pretty big upgrade. That's kind of how we need to be thinking about this stuff. Year over year, I don't care what brand it is. If you went from Pixel 8 to Pixel 9, not a massive, massive change. Of course, the hardware, the form factor changed a little bit, but like as far as the performance, not a massive change. iPhone 14 to 15, if that's 15, I think they're on the 15 now. That's not going to be a massive change either. You know what I'm saying. Software is going to be where a lot of these OEMs are going to make their hay with new features, and we really haven't heard a whole lot rumored about what Samsung is going to be doing. And I hope that they've got quite a bit sort of ammo packed away, because on that hardware side there, like I said, it's not a whole lot. Nonetheless, if you think you might possibly want to pre-order one of these devices, I would say go ahead and click that link down below, fill this out, and reserve one, because if you change your mind and you're like, actually, I don't care about this, it doesn't matter. It's no harm, no foul. You're not giving them any money or anything like that. And if you decide that you do want to get one of them, you're going to get that $50 credit. You're going to get, the potential for the trade-ins. You're going to be entered for a chance to win $5,000 of Samsung credit. Doesn't cost you anything. There are no requirements. You're not like, now shoehorned into this where you're like, well, I have to buy the phone now. You don't have to buy the phone now. It's just there as an option. And clicking that link does help support the channel for free. So it's a win for everyone across the board. Guys, that is where we are with the S25 series of devices. That is what we currently know. For me, I am going to go sit on the couch for the rest of the day as the snow is falling all around me. I am hopped up on Mucinex, feeling a little bit loopy. So if I said something strange in this video, blame it on the cold medication. Hit those comments down below, guys, and tell me what you think. Tell me how much snow you're getting in your area right now as you're watching this video. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.